But we are in the game, guys, so let's focus a little bit on StarCraft. As you can see, we currently have Cloud Kingdom being map number 2, and starting to the bottom left of the map, we have our player in the lead in this best of 3. It is the almighty DRG, starting for Team MVP, and starting to the top right, down a game already in this first best of 3 of the day of the group. We have his opponent. This is GanZi, former Slayers player, former Complexity player, currently teamless.
Yeah.
And he will have to find a way to somehow beat DRG if he wants to get a shot at the winner's match and not play the loser's match later on.
I'd never want to play a loser's match. Makes you feel like a loser.
Yeah, you actually have the name there as well.
Yeah.
So in the last game, what we saw from DRG was a very controlled playstyle, very heavy on the map control, and in the mid game with a push with Banelings, Zerglings, and Mutalisks, completely crushing GanZi's defenses. The Terran player was not ready, not at all, and what we are seeing in this game might actually be a similar style out of our Zerg player. He's heading into a hatch first, of course, at 15. No surprises here. GanZi, on the other hand, is changing things up a little bit, does not dare to go into a command center first on a map like Cloud Kingdom.
Doesn't want to do it, not on 2-player map. And DRG, though, is going to scout this right away. You know, it's actually kind of weird. These days, you see CC first almost as much as you see hatch first in this matchup. It's actually kind of crazy that we see one barracks expand almost from the GanZi right now, considering the current state of how this matchup is played.
It's pretty cool for me actually that DRG sends out this drone scout, that he wants to be safe here, because Cloud Kingdom is a map where we've seen so many double barracks openings, 11-11s, as well as a bit more economy oriented double barracks openings. So
not very many. Cool. You know, I noticed that in this matchup, in the IronSquid tournament in particular, very few Terran players actually go 2 barracks against Zerg. They usually do it against Protoss. I mean, not that Donner goes, well, this is IronSquid, so he's not going to 2 racks proximity, but it's something I've noticed about this tournament. Actually, people just the Terran players against Zergs are not wanting to take that chance. They want to play the late game.
Yeah, Lucifron, for example. I mean, he did that against every pros player that he faced, so wasn't too successful. And he did it against MC, and he also did it against Parting, against each of them on the last map. And against MC, it nearly worked, but it just didn't. But well, now we have the double gas for GanZi. He's heading into his command center as well, so kind of the opening that you would expect in this matchup.
Yeah.
Whereas on the other hand, DRG now still playing without the gas, going into the double queen. Very expected style here. The gas a little bit later. This is just one of the styles that he can use. Wouldn't be surprised to see a 3rd and a 4th queen after he is done with the initial 2. And the Overlord, of course, just hugging the cliff here and giving the information of the expansion, knows exactly what's going on here. And there they are, queen number 1 and 2 are ready, and number 3 and 4 are being built.
Donnergo's creep spread is going to follow. He is insane with that in this matchup. We saw it last game.
Yeah.
He's taking his gas now. Probably just going to get speed and then go into that 3rd base. Donnergo not really the aggressor, I feel, in this matchup early on.
DRG already in position with the queens.
Yep.
Yeah, there we will see the creep spread once again. And you're so right. I mean, in the last game, we've really seen it on Whirlwind, and this is a much smaller map than Whirlwind. So you can actually be a lot more aggressive with your creep spread as well and try, for example, to reach the 3rd base of your opponent.
Notice that timing, by the way, for his queen. It pops out right when the inject is needed, and then he sends it right over to prepare for Hellions and to get those tumors out.
A really solid build that he is working here. He has the gas now and 3 harvesters in it, so let's see if he invests the first 100 gas that he has into his speed, which is highly likely, or we will see a very fast take from him.
His supply block here slows down his 5th and 6th queen though quite significantly. Something to point out. You see the larva being dropped now.
Yeah, this time the timing doesn't work out perfectly for him, but he is completely happy with the injects that he has.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me that he actually skips a few injects to get the extra creep.
I kind of like it because, you know, in the early game, do you really need all that larva? You don't even have the money to spend on all that larva.
It's just very interesting to me because usually when, you know, back in the days when you only got 1 queen per hatch, you didn't go into the extra queens. Every Zerg was so concerned of dropping the extra energy for 1 creep turn. Now we have him with 4 queens, not dropping a single inject, but just blocking those gaps, making sure that the aliens can't get in and using the creep spread. So he is really meticulous about it.
Yeah. And cloak follow-up coming in for GanZi, as he pokes with the Hellions at the 3rd base, just trying to damage the hatchery, force the queens off the line again. He wants to make sure the queens are, not able to spread their tumors as comfortably as possible. He knows he's not going to kill the hatch. He knows he's not going to kill drones, but he knows that if he keeps the pressure on, he might force DRG to make a mistake. He's just trying to tax his multitasking a little bit.
We will need definitely a few spore crawlers because Lairtech hasn't even started yet, so he will have to rely on the detection granted by the structures. It's the only option that he has, and he might. Oh wow, spore crawlers actually are being built immediately. How did he see that? He saw it with those,
the Overlord.
With the Overlord, right?
Yep.
Yeah, must have seen it.
But this is not gonna really do that much damage. He can transfuse this queen easily.
And there it is.
Yep. The spore crawler is actually just waiting here. This Banshee is in trouble.
Yeah. Oh wow.
He barely got that away. That was a really nice reaction time by GanZi.
That was close.
He's a transfuse again. There he does.
And he repositions the spore crawler now. And the Hellions need to be careful. They're out of energy. Nice targeting by GanZi. Targeting the queen with the most energy here.
Yeah, that was actually really well done. GanZi with some great targeting there. Making the trade work as best as possible. Really a close call for DRG. Does not want to lose those queens.
Lairtech is now on its way. Double spore crawler at the natural. Wants to make sure that an incoming Banshee is being taken out immediately.
Later on that's really useful. He gets great coverage here, but later on it can be great for drop play when we go to late game potentially as well.
4 additional barracks are now being built by GanZi. He's really gearing up. This initial aggression did not do as much damage as he was hoping for. He killed 5 harvesters, and that's not really worth it. He lost nearly as much as his opponent did. And so far, DRG once again doing a really good job. Already out on the map with a creep. A lot of active creep tumors here. And guess what? He's going into exactly the same style that we've seen him play not only yesterday at Blizzard Cup, but also in Game 1.
Those links just pushed their way into the base here. That is not a full wall.
Yeah, and I'm not quite sure what happened there, but GanZi is suddenly losing a lot of SCVs. This small Harris with the circlings is actually much more effective than what GanZi was trying to pull off with all those Hellions and Banshees.
He could have even gotten like 2 more SCVs there, but he he decided to fight the Marines. It seems like an elementary mistake, considering that, I mean, this is a map GanZi has played countless times to not have that wall fixed. Now he fixes it, of course. These lings are not going to be able to be as successful.
Yeah, this time we have the additional supply.
Actually, I may be seeing things, but looks like he can fit. Yep.
Oh my god.
I thought so. Oh man, he's going to clean up these Marines. It's a great trade. You can actually get the rest of the Marines here and then start cleaning up the SCVs that were already damaged from earlier.
He's falling apart here. He's actually falling apart, and I don't understand why he doesn't just attack the SCVs. He could have killed a few more. He tried to take down the supply depot.
Yeah.
That doesn't work, but in the end, does it really matter?
Exactly.
He killed 9 harvesters in total and forced GanZi back several times, took out his Marines too. This is like the worst case scenario for the Terran player. And now just look at what DRG already has. He has the Mutalisk on his way. He has +2/+2, while GanZi is not even done with 1/1. He doesn't even have combat shield. DRG is dominating this game at this point.
Yeah, he is on fire, man. DRG has really been practicing hard recently. I'm really impressed with, I don't want to say how he's improved, but how he's been able to just come back to the DRG we all know and love.
Yeah. And here comes another push by GanZi, and I have to say that, well, DRG is ready, man. The Banelings, well, might not be just ready yet, but the Circlings are there, and also the Mutalisks. The Mutalisks just poke in, the Marines are not there yet, and therefore those Hellions die immediately. The Marines to the rescue, but a little bit too late. And as mentioned, all else pointed out, not a single upgrade, except for Stim. No combat shield, no +1/+1, and here comes DRG trying to catch those forces.
And here they come. He's going to actually be able to pick up a medevac, maybe. Not quite, but nice save, not losing a single Mutalisk.
Forcing the Stim.
Yeah, that was a big Stim.
While we have GanZi now with the Orbital Command, the 3rd one at his mineral line. A little bit late.
Yeah, he's powered up to the same amount of barracks that we saw him on last game. But, you know, last game that still didn't work out for him. He didn't have enough siege tanks out. His tech was a little bit delayed. And DRG, man, if he just goes to that 3rd base, loses that muta regardless. But if he goes to that 3rd base right now with all of his lings and his mutas, while GanZi is across the map, he's going to regret it.
At this point, we have so much army just for DRG, and he has the speed for the Banelings now done. Here come the Mutalisks, have to be careful. Yep,
good
nice
stem.
dodge.
Good stem by GanZi there. Pre-detecting the movement of the mutas and being ready. Obviously, 2/2 will catch up for GanZi. There's no hive at this point because DRG.
Supply.
Yeah, DRG has a better army supply. Better supply. He's occupying the middle of the map. He's trying to decide if he wants to fight on creep or if he wants to go for the counterattack. Counterattack is the choice he makes. He knows he doesn't need this fourth base. He can actually just let it go for now. He's got an Infestation Pit coming up. And how is GanZi going to respond? He's going to lose his orbital.
Yeah, the upgrades are still much better for DRG, and also one of the things that I have to point out here is that we only have 2 siege tanks. There are only 2 siege tanks. That is not a lot to deal with Banelings. And here comes DRG trying to crush this force moving in. And I think he has the numbers.
He's supplying. He's pretty easy. He actually runs over his Hellion, or his Lings though, into a very bad spot.
Yeah, that was not the best engagement.
But this might be enough.
Different direction.
There's nowhere to run.
Siege tanks are gone. The Banelings, they connect. GanZi's dropping supply immediately. He is at 120 now, losing everything, his entire army. And guys, don't forget, the guy doesn't have a third base anymore.
Yeah, he doesn't have a third base, but neither does DRG. In fact, he's remaking it, but with the army he has, he can actually just go maybe even kill GanZi without even retaking his third hatch.
Oh, and there's just not a lot of tech structures or tech units for his opponent.
Yeah.
Here come the Banelings again,
He
forcing the
stems
Marines
twice.
back, and he does not have the medivacs anymore. And the Banelings connect. This is it, Wolf.
Yep, that's it.
GG. GanZi leaves game number 2. DRG with a quick 2-0 here in our first game in the IronSquid group. So DRG advances to the winners game and GanZi drops to the losers match.